जजुलोपा WNO यहाँ निथा जाजुजना हरेक बिबार थे चुना WNO ढासा तो वर्ल्ड न्यूवा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन यहाँ निथा थे निकु जाजो यहाँ का चंगु जुला तकले ना पांगु जाजो कथा खाया मासा नेपाली अनुसार Google Translation जाजो नेपाली अनुसार बनिसिया नेडेटा इलानिसिया गुटा इ टक यहाँ चंगु राखिने निकु सेसन रुपे छ विभिन्न कथाया व्यक्तित्व पिन्टर ठुकु जाजो सम्पूर्ण वेक अप छ समाज बेचंगु योगदान चर्चा परिचर्चा यागो आजुकाया जं वेक अप इना प खलबला व्याख्या सुनको जुला निसे वेक अप समाज बेचंगु योगदान चक मको नि वेक अप नेपाल भाषा खेले नेपाल खेले यान चंगु विभिन्न कथाया योगदान एटन चर्चा परिचर्चा यागो लुमंकीको आजुकाया वर्ल्ड न्यूवा अर्गनाइजेसन याका वेचंगु ठुकु जाजो ठौ दिस चिकपिनि याने सचिव गुइ खुंगु जाजो रुपे चिकपिनि याने हाइचनको जुला ठौया पाहायुपति बारे खला मासा वेक सय धनी वेक बहुआयामिक व्यक्तित्व रेडियोकर्मी सञ्चारकर्मी टेलिभिजनकर्मी दिसे वेकै बारे खला मासा जीव वेकै चाहिँ स वेकै प्रस्तुति वेकै शैली एफएमए वेकन नवन्दी रेडियो नवन्दी जी वेकै डुन्डुग्लन से फ्यान ढामाला अथवा एकुए वेकै नवायो तरिका एकुए नि पुछ्छ वेक भाषाले नवायो तर छुकु भाषा सकमको इंग्लिश भाषा न उले पोख्ट गैर भाषा न उले पोख्ट नेपाल भाषा न उले पोख्ट एकको सियाना नेपाल भाषा ज्याजो गु कान्तिपुर एफएम उले सिक बेबे ज्याजो नेपाल ज्याजो रका गु नेपाल भाषा वेकन हला नेपाल भाषा वेकन ज्याजो न्याका बेबे ज्याचो नेपाल मिटे ने निवाटे बेबे जित तालाम व्यक्तित्वले वर्ल्ड वाइड फुसिया मसिम व्यक्तित्व प्रभात रिमाल एटा ठौ ठुजा सम्पूर्ण वेकन प खलबला व्यक्त हुँदैन प्रभात रिमाल थाहा त वेक निवाल मुख गैर निवाज छन झि निवाटे छन लाना चंगु भ्या अरु वेकन भ्या त माया मटिना नेपाल भाषा ठुली बालको नवन्दी कि वो व्याख्या ठौ छ फुक्क नि ओसुया न्या डकला पा वेक लस्कुसिया पाखे हुने ठौए ज्याजो छ प्रभात दाइ डकला पा ज्याजो छ लस्कुसिया न छन
थ्यांक यू लस्कुसिया छिरा एकेको सुबाय
जिन नचन दाइ मलाई दाइ चाहिँ सिकिन धनी खस दाइ सय धनी आयो मलाई दाइ स दाइ प्रस्तुति शैली सिके बाला स दाइ त गॉड गिफ्ट खट हासा जी गुल्टक राइट जी गुल्टक रङ जी दाइ एकदमै गॉड गिफ्ट छौ स वा भोइस दाइ के दुथे छ जी थो जो अनुभव मलाई त जो फिलिङ कलन ने सुले दाइ
Bigen, you're absolutely right la and he touches the चाहिँ दाइ गॉड गिफ्ट खगा तुझे जी चाहिँ गनो स्कूले हुना गनो नो यूनिवर्सिटी हुना गनो नो जी चाहिँ सर्टिफाई याना हो मोको so this has to be God gift as you say चिसो चाहिँ जय त न्याब्लेन thank you दामा कि जनो जी त चाहिँ थन अर्थ साथी ठो छुनो छु याना चाहिँ नेमानी ठो कमेमानी त्यहाँ चाहिँ छोयो दैगाला as you say जरो चाहिँ and God sent me this with the voice like you appreciated and probably with the style that the way I talk, that's how it goes. But this is completely a God gift. Any singer is a God gift. Most of the dancers are the God gift. Even almost but it's a tuata saying kalakar. Actors are the God gift. This cannot be like obtain the certificate saying gono school saying okay I'm masters in kalakarita, I'm masters in singing. The saying certification jago because we have seen reality show le tiapi singers they couldn't do much, but there are other singers who were born and brought up from nowhere. They did wonders. So it's a God gift. It is.
तो गॉड गिफ्ट दाइ के दुर का गुले वाचल दैन मजानी थिए वाचल खैमुक जिमला तो चाहिँ ओहो ठो सय मार्फत चाहिँ जे देन्यंक हलिन्यंक फुहि अनि चाहिँ म मसिफ व्यक्तित्व गिफ्ट रहेको चाहिँ गुले दाइ र नोटिफिकेसन र क्लिक जिलो
that's quite tricky मतलब वो चाहिँ गरे चाहिँ अजि but then again I wonder when I was very young मखला 18-20 वर्ष दुखे चाहिँ ठोक्ने थे mobile phone moru, right? And then probably I would what is answer saying I probably would talk to anybody over the phone mukla and they would appreciate the sure the cost meter and I was like what स्वर पनि मिठो हुन्छ मैले त गायन मात्र मिठो सुनेको मैले त गाउने मात्र मिठो सुनेको स्वर कसरी मिठो हुन्छ हैन तपाईको बोल्ने शैली मलाई सारै मन पर्यो हैन वाउ I mean Then I realized, at that particular age, obviously, first time realizing, oh, sorry, she's now monitor to say, oh, your impression be fulfilled, but I think, those are the cases. So,
Daida, some monu, daida radio corridor, ya bel lumun ki monu, daida phone na, kanti pure to ad wodu, pasa ya na thong lumun ki masa, ike marf dai kanti pure zwanju anubhav duna, gena lumun ki thong to davu marf.
मतलब add you to la.
Ad to daida kanti pure say radio journalist ma, radio vacancy ma, daida phone na.
Oh, okay. Oh, that I know. Suggestion that I was doing my business. And then I finally started doing my own thing, but that didn't click. Traveling, rafting or trekking. Somehow that was not happening. So it happened that and I saw this ad in Kantipur. It's a piece of ad, very small. And it reads like, be a radio star. More than me, Amar Pandey, who's basically Marsha, otherwise a Madisha friend, a very good friend of mine. He called me and said, Prabhat, sunna, tani to ad it is. And I'm like, Kanti Omali area. Don't test my apply got eligible sus, musical knowledge when he saw there is Surpan Namasa. So which is certainly gone to and that was the ad. I still remember somewhere around Bound Nasal. Then it reads like I said, be a radio star. An interesting interview view. So it says on the top of the head, so interesting, walk-in interview. I said, okay, I can just walk in, no need to put an application. I was like so glad, wow, Nepal hi-fi system, I can just walk in and do an interview. And then I met this girl at the reception. I said, madam, it's the RJ saying walk-in interview. She looked at the list and I said, madam, walk-in interview, mero naam hudaina yasma. And she rejected me then and there out of the room. And I went out and I said, the hell? Ato chomesha mutu khala to advertisement suna dekla mutu khala athwa sunana mutu khala. I was like so surprised. But then again, I called one of my friends. Jimpase say avle Kantipur some owners happens to be Binaju. And then I said, sorry, it's just the boy one. Then I talked to that Binaju, and that was Binod Gyali, now who is the owner of Nagrik Dainik. And then I said, Binod, sir, it's just the Vomala to Onya, Vomala to walk in, but Bolana. And then the next day I was called, and Steve Guy was there. I got in there. That's how I got in.
जब धापाङ खुसी माइक न्योने चुना नवे दाइ सला बाला मतलब माइक न्योन चुना नवे ले लोगो माइक ले क्याम्पस में कनि मासा रेडियो उनाला चाहिँ जब माइक खन्न सिक ज्ञान पिने गुली खलाफो माइक खनसार जिरा सिक ग्याउ अनुभव जिके दु दाइ अनुभव गर्छ
वो अनुभव दक्षिके दे सुना न खमला त जिरा ए 3 मजु दल्ला से that'll be too much. That'll be a lie. You know what? Again, you won't believe it, huh? What happened was like, and then I joined the Steve Cause, the manager. He gave us the training and everything. The first day on air, we went from Singadar Radio, Red Nepali studio now. Radio party, we bought slots. Hits FM was there from morning till 3 o'clock, and 3 to 5 was some other FM, and then 7 to 10 was Kantipur FM. On the first day on one la Jula Tutilla log all mic like Goman Sapen. That's why I was really scared. Trust me, because that happens with everybody. If somebody says like, hey, that's a lie. It happens to me. I was very nervous.
I would know Mike at a job like Mike it is a government subject job to Mike. Get a friendly thing. What time friendly? Sumo around that friendly at the time.
Well, I mean, it's like approaching a girl, somebody that's You try once, you try twice, and ultimately, slowly and steadily you win the race that day. Bistari Jirona, I was given a lot of confidence and comfort from my seniors. Then, especially, I would like to mention Steve Cab. Steve is in London. I don't know, Steve, if you're watching me, you're one unforgettable person in my life. Thank you so much for whatever you did it to me. And not just to me, to the Kantipur FM. But anyway, so that's how it goes, Ole Bistari, well, Kwani. Jiro say, Mial Mala Suri, Yoni, Suri stop it. He said, he had stolen it, you found declare Napa, Suna Pihan with heads and Nimula. One with the Sally, but a Tommy one saki lip of somebody has to start. So, I mean, it took some time, but I got adjusted.
Wow, Kantipur FM daina चाहिँ विभिन्न ज्याजोला झ्याका दिए नेपाल भाषा ज्याजो हिन्दी ज्याजो इंग्लिश ज्याजो झ्याका दिला नेपाली भाषा ज्याजो ने नेपाल भाषा ज्याजो झ्याकीको हो थि नेपाल भाषा ज्याजो झ्याका चुनौले दाइना नेपाल भाषा रेडियो ज्याजो झ्याकीको होटा अथवा सोच चाहिँ दाइना गेना होला खेतलाई मखने चुना दिमख नेपाल भाषालाई दाइदो बालका फ्लुएन्टी हो रेडियो उना चाहिँ उको ठया जिसा गुटो सबै खेला चुनाउ बोर्डिङ टु फुको डाइरेक्सन टु गनाउ वालेजला गेना चाहिँ हैन फुको अब्जर्भ गर्नु दियो नेपाल भाषा चाहिँ
Bigen was a tag, you moral responsibility. You're gonna vula, you're gonna say Urgezula, you're gonna pass pin up a mita, gonna pass pin up a Sulakasa mita, otherwise you pass pin up a Verne, I love to Verne, Twayana, pass me saying Imson Jiro, saying Yanka, saying Nepal Pasa to Mugu, Newa Sanskritu, but then Jiro, the good Bahokana, and 34 air court, Jiro Shankala. That's my moral responsibility. Then I talked to my boss. My boss was somebody who's from Janakpur, Kailash area, who's the owner of Kantipur, whole Kantipur group now.
Yes.
And my next boss was Binod Giwari, who's from Nepalganj. But I went and I told them, it's like, sir, radio Kathmandu ma chalira cha. Kathmanduko ठुलो जनसंख्या भनेको नेवार र नेवारी सभ्यताको स्रोत भएको यो ठाउँ हो त्यसैले हामीले यसलाई सम्मान गर्दै हामीले चाहिँ नेपाल भाषाको कार्यक्रम चलाउनु पर्छ and the funniest part was they asked me like अनि कार्यक्रम चाहिँ कसले चलाउँछ त and I said sir म चलाउँछु तिमी चलाउँछौ तिमी त अंग्रेजी र नेपाली हैन म नेपाल भाषा पनि म बोल्छु किन भने भन्दाखेरि मैले नेपाल भाषा बोलिराख्दाखेरि चाहिँ मलाई नेपाल भाषा अझ निखारिएको हिसाबबाट सिकाउनलाई मेरो साथीले पनि धेरै सहयोग गरे ध्यात्या एजेन्सी त्यसैदेखि लङ त हामी सोच्छौं but they took so long then I kept pressurizing them you have to do it and finally the show was born as a name called Nepale. So not just to me
वो चाहिँ अनिर्जित फुल टाइम कल हैन त प्रिसाइज बिमाला टाइम कल हैन
yeah it took about let's say 6 months because commercial radio stations only they were asking me so many questions ki sponsor waila moila show no chabo kamya yela moila there were a lot of queries and I said it's like sir I'll try so and finally I got the sponsor also everything so with that I went on there तर which one important part चाहिँ जो भने चाहिँ सुरानी भिजन कि जे चाहिँ मतलब थोदे चोपी चाहिँ जे चाहिँ नेपाली जुया चाहिँ no matter छम जस्तो for example जिम ससाबु he is from Tanu Jilla where he was born and brought up in Magar community right he speaks so fluent Magar being abound मलाई it was such a nice, but I'm like, again, Jim Sasabu saying work, but then again, all I'm saying is that's how I got inspired. I said, like, you have moral responsibility to do Gu Sabhyata, Gu Science Civilization. I was born and brought up. It's my moral responsibility. I should serve this civilization too. So that's how it's got started.
I would be new potato Cosana. What they told one of hidden talent alligator. Music is एकदमै knowledge मलाई one to tsunami out gana mia sunana guy gittin ma da phone in you suna wo चाहिँ गना वो सो गना वो गना देना वो सिकेका जो अझ चाहिँ वो चाहिँ खुन्जेना चाहिँ
what I vision is like this you should be knowing like I was part and parcel of Tick and Talk in New Road.
Yes.
World Park Tick and Talk, Nepali music tape, we are saying music saying #1 station, #1 posada asan juala. So I was part, but not again that. But I was curious cat, and I was more into music. As a because I'm not doctor or engineer, you know that, right? So isn't he saying I was more into music, more into everything. I know and saying there were times like my friends, they would call me like Prabhat encyclopedia ni with Rolling Stone this year album saying grew your Beatles told me say this is all got started off not only English say Nepali Natikaji ni say kya Taradevi ni say kya
especially Indian Hindi music
exactly see Julagi Kolari it has no boundary. Kola has no boundaries. Lambada or Labamba. Because the language itself is so strong. The music is so strong.
Musical language
exactly. It's boundaryless. Even Lipa Wapri to Korean me hey sexy lady but we don't know the rest of the lyrics. So it's like that. So as you saying Jita saying knowledge saying I was such a curious cat.
knowledge badmashi knowledge badmashi school चाहिँ माबाप चाहिँ स्कुल फी पूर्ण दियो तर फी म चाहिँ कैसे चकन याद दियो
How do you know this? Oh my god. Okay, this is like something
die visual option
एक minute
wake you visual of laptop wake chinapa bai wana chungdu nei pusung khala bala byak chungu julam wake sansar karmi ka thadi wake napa jisa wake na yana chungu jakha sansare wake na yana chungu mita chungu bhumika wake makhat wale janme jya Nepal bhasha fluently wake na lhana chungdu Nepal bhasha fluently wake na nyaka na chungdu Nepal bhasha jajo nyakile wake na kandipure bibino kathaya jajo nyaka chungu du ugu ile na ya wake yupti gu craze ju wake na chai wo go we can Nepal jajo do it or not hit program to we can be chungdu तर ठौको नै we can radio packet tapana चाहिँ event management कथन we can do work का event management कथन do नेपालले डक्टर थापाङ कथन event management या के we can भूमिका दु धासन जो we can चिना पछि to जुमे सम्बन्ध मले ढुङ्गा हना वे गर्दै जिन्थन हे पुटलाई छयान छ उला निसे वे कै बडे बारे खलामा छ उइले चाहिँ हिट्स एफएम हो कान्तिपुर एफएम ढका चाहिँ उ निगु प्रतिद्वन्दी एफएम ढा प्रतिस्पर्धी एफएम गठन दु वे का ज्वान जुए ढुङ्गु दु लिसे वे कन याना चंगु वो ज्याख सिहसेउले कान्तिपुर एफएम वे कन चाहिँ गु ज्याजो यका चंगु ज्याजो छौसे छगु ज्याजो चाहिँ बालाउ ज्याजो को ठाउँ वेक जोंदु वेक जिनापु ज्यान्जे दुंगु प्रभात दाइ छुगु माइक को क्यामेरा चाहिँ टुगुले
I'm sorry for the interruption. I'm sorry for the interruption. So what was the last question?
जी वो दाइ
okay
बदमाशी
स्कुल फी है नि जी रा नि जी आनन्द गुटी बनाउ मुला you know my father Imba he is known as a Kalbaja in Mokne Jumbai then Tokshan say Kalbaja ya mushuga al Jumbai te चाहिँ respect epi gulno thale chopi Tokshan say nyamle no baja bhagya ya thayo mula bana love you ju mato dai yad duka mula and then jipi Hindu Brahmin families ya Jumbana inga jiro say Buddhist school Anandguti taibala mula. And then he said one thing I will never forget in my life that about तैले कुनै पनि दिन भन्टेहरुलाई नढोगिकन क्लासमा नजानु
दाउ छासेजो छ दाउ
it's a respect to चाहिँ किसन छाड हमल दासिन then we should learn to respect each other थोंक्ने थे हमेशा में भी तो blame याना छथो जिथो छंगुथो बमला छंगु जुथो बाला no. The society was different then. Our society was totally different. But anyway, coming back to your point, so I went to Anandpuri. Anandpuri wana Kumar Bante Sudarshan Bante Toku Lumani wake up into Agya Olejiga class I would Mala. As we thought Zulta Chura class 7A where my father decided that I should be in the school because I wasn't a good kid. I thought like, maybe thought about it. Tell Palia as a from Bang Vuniria, Boris and Villa. A Boris Yasat ki ju music you interested is a Jiro Cassin, movies. Mula Ali 12 Ali Jirosan, Ali Yame Bana to be the Boris Zuling. About time on a joke for me. That is Juba, Yasay. Jovaka, when you are city, when you are saying, Peacock tape, when you Goblin Beatles, you can Goblin Rolling Stone, Goblin Led Zeppelin, Goblin Metallica. Alle solar pela lipa saying school on saying bite saying phone wake what so that was the thing.
Well, buy uble buy boneo to himona laneo and Jay Mozuki at both chapters that close.
Bano Gobleno Lata Motoka. He never used his hand. I mean, he was a very civilized Obleno. He was a modern day father. He never believed in beating saying Obleno Mozu.
Kantipur FM Yatra died Lamate, Kantipur FM Janju, who Ile Dai Janjule, Red Nepal Paket, who slot Kayate, Prasaran Jatu, Evo, Lipa Dina, Jazo Yakidum Kaipti, who Yupa Kantipur FM Bukutan.
What's I get with last? I joined Kantipur FM Boundasal Mula. Ale Boundasal Red Nepali two parts, yes, Swainana. Say then around Sonasal and a half, then Nepal government saying individual license beta started. And then we'll license B start we moved from 100 megahertz to 96.1 Kantipur FM. And then we went to Pulchoke Una saying remote highway station we started the transmission. So that was the transaction. So from 3 hours of radio Kantipur on where initially we started like 18 hours and then later we went 24 hours.
That is more hourly program jacket Argentina Mala gonna Kantipur FM read the Bali slot Kayate, Sumpima Argentina. Really Jokito Malita, we let Gulda Takula, Nugu Suruat. Uble Gina Luma, Jimsa, Nabanapa FM, Nine FM, FM Tuner and Chicken. So, what I saw Monte Swat, Nugu business car. Wo RJ to reduce Jokita Malta, we let a Gulta Kantipura, Struggle Yamala, Diamond Suzuko, the Geragan at the RJ to Hoya, work Bahanian Music.
Well, that was quite a difficult task. It was quite a difficult task. Tani, Pila Napana. Jimtola fully borbula society ki kaya labde. Chinese saying we were in a way like we were revolutionary. Radio was almost dead. Almost Shirungu radio saying we revived through FM. Mangla.
Did damage just say I will phone in Karkam Chaleju, Ula Fanibar Nato radio in Samna do did damage.
Whoa! When I said dead, I'll tell you. When I said dead is like you said, okay, tell me how many programs you remember? Natak so remember.
Natak Paz Bal Karkam Dishanjana, Alewa phone in Karkam Sanbar, phone in Karkam Janana, Ale RBJ, so Natak Dishanjana Lumana were she carry Bengatmak Natak Disan Luma. Alewa Krisi Karkam Yama, JTA, Karkam Luma. I can't come Luma.
Okay, well, okay, fine. Think so. That was one radio. So radio impose yao isagonta get it. So television ken dasala. Napa India Durdarshan the. Jisa Mahabharat na UPSO, Malgudi days na UPSO, Dokwe UPSO. Because we have no other option. So same thing happened. Tara FM Wesaki, there were so many options. There were 5 stations started at the same time from Kantipur to Goodnight FM, near Shayu. On we are saying Hits FM. On we are saying Music Nepal FM. Everything started at the same time. When I said that, in a sense, जिमसोए रेडियो नेपाल बन्जना चाहिँ रेडियो नेपाल न्युरियो मतलब मतलब स्कुल बन्छन बेला चाहिँ रिसर्च टाइममा चाहिँ फार्मेसी की त्यो कार्यक्रम हो that's one next was I remember was Krishna Tamrakar
yes the news reader
no money जे ततै त कान्तिपुर एफएमयू पाखे चाहिँ लाइफ टाइम अचिभमेन्ट अवार्ड बिउले जे मिखा खोपी प्याउन ततानो जित आटकन लोमो खैमोकी जे प्रभात तिमीले के गर्यो यस्तो मलाई आजसम्म राष्ट्रले चाहिँ मतलब सम्मान गरेन तर तिमीले यस्तो मैले दिजु मैले कहिले पनि बिर्सेको छैन मैले जहिले पनि आलु चुरा खाँदाखेरि 2:30 बज्थ्यो अनि आउँथ्यो यो रेडियो नेपाल हो अब कृष्ण ताम्राकारबाट समाचार सुन्नुस् श्रीपाद महाराज एना मलाई so it's like that so that's why when I said that in a sense was like actually bound sale tenunka people were not listening because the televisions were already there
okay
चाहिँ वो कुसातया चाहिँ वो डिस्ट्रिब्युसन नेना विदेशी च्यानल
रामायण way time
exactly विदेशी च्यानल so it was that in that particular term otherwise छरा थे जिन I would not forget like दहाल यज्ञ निधि सुथे साहित्य संसार who would forget you know all those voices Michael Chand for all those English songs and nobody would forget Munut of Shivane so when I said dead in a sense is like they were dead in terms of issues they were dead in terms of topics we came pretty bored we've been actually bored here we started talking openly about sex education sexuality gay lesbians everything
what way daitala ena ayo kutha समाज छ नु यु पार्ट सेक्स एजुकेसन मिडिया मार्फत दाइला छला अन मन्त्रालय पाखे छ लभ लेटर हेर्न वो खनि भन्दै मलाई
I know well I've said that was quite interesting read Nepal to play you know and then I remember studying which was interesting yeah I received a letter from warning letter from the ministry and then Salin the director of then Nepal Radio Nepal he said Prabhat no yaha aija tero lagi love letter sir and then I said dai ke sir हेर त तैले के गरे दाइ मैले के गरे त्यहाँ पढ्न then I was like born and asked about that I talked about sex sexuality and love
गर्लफ्रेन्ड
दाइ यो त गजब हो दाइ यो मैले माया प्रेम र यौनको कुरा गर्दाखेरि मलाई यस्तो आयो अब म के गरौँ दाइ म भोलिदेखि युद्धको कुरा गरौँ हतियारको कुरा गरौँ म मान्छेलाई भड्काउँ रवान्डा जस्तो बनाऊ यो देशलाई एउटा जातको विरुद्ध अर्को जातलाई भड्काउँदै म के गरौँ दाइ त्यो गरे भने चाहिँ मैले के अवार्ड पाउने हो and he had no answer बाउ पर्सनली मेरो सपोर्ट तँलाई फुल्ली छ तर यसको जवाब चाहिँ तैँले दिनुपर्छ that's how I get that
वला जेजले मेरो छु दाइपी बारे खमा छ वो दाइना वो एफएमए प्रोग्राम चलेन्चनेले चाहिँ दाइपी कान्तिपुर एफएम हिट्स एफएम चाहिँ छ प्यारलर रोको ठाउँमा राइभल को ठाउँ जिउ चाहिँ हिट्स एफएम मानको प्रोग्राम विषय कान्तिपुर एफएम वो टाइम रेडियो दी जर्नी दाइना खलन्चनहरु वो कान्तिपुर एफएम हिट्स एफएम गेदा चाहिँ उ को ठाउँ चाहिँ प्रतिद्वन्दी को ठाउँ चाहिँ जु राइभल को ठाउँ वो लिसनर त कने डिवाइड जिउ अ उले चाहिँ अझ जिसु अन्सर लिसनर क्लब पिकनिक उन्यु आयो उ चाहिँ राइभल जु खै के ख
well I'll tell you what see we were business rivals no doubt tole vyapar khani mugla so business rival la juwe zula oble and about hits fm they were more city centric they were more for you know the city crowd especially Dhaka khasa more for Kathmandu they would like do everything in English well scripted I remember Jivandai told me once the one of the owner and you know the promoter of the Hits FM Prabhat nobody speaks a word beyond the script and my radio station we were like all over Ekla we went like you know all over Nepal and then we had a responsibility that we would crack anything and everything that will satisfy but at the same time we were competing with Hits FM because we've had like such amazing urban, based people who probably would cater to the urban listeners. I would never forget Asis and Prasan, Sumit Sigdal, Kunal Lama, and there were a lot of these RJs like who were, more popular than the VJs then.
Yes.
They've ruled everything. They've ruled stage of Miss Nepal, Nyathana stage. We did it too. I did it too. I was the MC for 95 Miss Nepal. Mula, it's like that. So,
Prabhat Rimal time so platform din kharla platform negative platform da so gayo negative platform da sini Sandeep Kantipure ma thongne comedian la bhekana चाहिँ सुक्ने भाजमी छिपन ने छ बाहाजी छिपिन कने छिपसा Kantipure television थोंने वाज अ फ्लॉप तका चाहिँ वो हिन्दी वो चाहिँ नेपाली टेलिभिजन त वो कमेडी स्विच हुन्छ वो सो चलन दिमा भाजु सन्दीप छेत्री त प्रभात दाइटा वया Kantipure एफएम जियो जी चाहिँ एफएम प्रोग्राम चलाएर हैले मजे सन्दे Kantipure एफएम ठ्यामर टाइम भन्नु दाइ थो दुसास ख दाइयो दुसास उइलाई चाहिँ फल्दै जुलम दाइ वो बाखा छ नि हैन दुनु के छ हैन दाइलाई किसा एकै दुन
okay. Sandeep Chetri बारे चाहिँ छुरानी वास्तवमा Sandeep was already working on radio in Birganj, Kathmandu, Jayarupuga. And then we had a vacancy saying that we need RJs. So there was a long queue. Of like queue la jimo चाहिँ पुल्चोके radio station and Jayaga kwe पुल्चोके दमकल तक चाहिँ queue dey मलाई. And then Sandeep came and he said, "Dai mo pani," and I said that तँलाई अब रेडियो पुग्यो म तँलाई रेडियोमा ठाउँ दिन्न तँ अब टेलिभिजनमा जा किनभने इट्स ओभर फर यु सरी तँलाई मन लाग्छ यो तितो लाग्छ कि मिठो लाग्छ मलाई थाहा छैन यु बेटर सो आई थिंक दैट इज समथिङ एन्ड सन्दीप इज भेरी क्लोज टु मी बिजन जिन्सन देवी ही इज भेरी क्लोज टु मी ही इज लाइक माई भाइ एन्ड वी स्टिल वर्क इन मेनी प्रोजेक्ट्स टुगेदर एन्ड जे भयो खले Come se come, Jean I'm sure you would have like a lot of other people who have, encouraged him to get into TV and things like that. But I do like, but he's also tells me, Mala dai thona reject gare, I said reject gare aina. Tola as a lakh darsak bada korono darsak ko lagi acceptance ma puriako. That's what I tell him.
Daina wait time we got reject and we capability khana radio se motor TV lai चाहिँ वो capability khana चाहिँ दाइना चाहिँ रिजिक न ख अथवा चाहिँ रेडियो ले बामना रका चाहिँ रिजिक न ख
No. Bigen, step up it's like get it actually. If I'm somebody who's like able to speak in front of the mic, mula do mic in yone balako no afusa चाहिँ July next step in television dream aras ni mic no atule ji Kotu Gunjana, Noah Sanjilo. You can't hear Yana Noah Sanjilo. So the moment I come into a camera, then I have to show my facial expression. That means I am going a step ahead. So I asked him, it's time for you to step ahead. Go ahead, go grab it. Now look at him. He's a star now.
The radio is a थाना भिडियो कर्मीलाई ज्या जुनोले ज्याज ल हुने जी WNO ले न बिवार पतिका ठुक ठ ज्याजो ने के होटा WNO ने जिता बिगु एखेला यगो सुभा थुकु द रेडियो अपडेट दुख टाइप चाहिँ ठोकुने रेडियो अपडेट जर्नी नापा टाइप न्यू पाले थे गु रेडियो चाम दुख उमान त कारण छ र सिनी द चाहिँ गठले जिनी आ जिन सम रेडियो जकी जुइन अले जिन चाहिँ पासे नि हुन्छ कछन ने गि थाइ बिरका पासे नि क्वालिटी समस्याको बानी जुल न एकेना ठोकुने रेडियो चाहिँ रिज चाहिँ मन्टिस कमजु ख अथवा चाहिँ ठोकुने टेक्नोलोजी त मलाई युट्युब त होला विभिन्न कथा या मल्टिमिडिया त भया चाहिँ रेडियो चाहिँ डाउन जु खडा ठीक बुक नसु
I'm pretty radical on these thoughts, Mukla. In fact, I think Chunachi saying when Mao popularity come there, say it's how we need us and saying when you start compromising on the quality itself. India as well. Look at Red Mirchi.
Red FM.
Red FM is all over. They're in Dubai, they're in Qatar, they are all over. That's just the radio. Even in US, you can't live without radio. Weather report, everything and all. I mean, there are a lot of radio staff who are still working. But at the same time, of course, but these are impacts saying new media, but at the same time, Suldahni, we started compromising on everything. To Nepali Durdasa Churani, imagine once we were the SAF football champion, we are no more, right? Now we start all good and we tend to go down, we don't go up. That's how it is. So that's why it's a similar story with the radio. I listened to a radio, I felt so sad, not with everyone, but majority of people were working on radios. I feel sorry for them. Even for the owners, even for the, South Etna Jini, Chimori chat Talamulani, Chimta don't be Munuta Mali, don't be Munutu that's why you can't earn. So as you say, new media is, of course, and Nunuchis will last, but these are communities but if you have a power to drive, I'm a big fan of Queen also. Queen is on Radio Gaga Binyanala. Radio, someone still loves you. Radio, it's never die.
तर दाइनो राथे छु गु दसु बेदला रेडियो फेम उजै छन्जिना वन हिपु सो दाइना छु दुबे ओ उन छु न जुछ अब मिउ छु नि स दाइट दाइनो चाहिँ नेपाल भाषा चाहिँ गु चाहिँ रेडियो छिसन प्रचलन नभइ नि दाइ आ छिसन नर्मली छिसन पाँच पिना पखला नेपाल भाषा हो रेडियो छिसन टिपिकल भाषा त छला टिपिकल खगो त छला छिसन गु नयामा व ट्रेनिङ चाहिँ चाहिँ पाँच भाइ बिना पत्र खलाना सल कि अथवा नेपाल भाषा पत्रिका त बना सल कि गेना सल नेपाल भाषा चाहिँ उको गेना सल
Bigen, it's a very interesting question. Thank
you.
Anand, one blana. Jiskule dublana class 6, 7 I was pretty involved in Nepal Basa activities. I still remember I was part of the National Casa, which was between schools. I was actively involved, and after that, we are saying at the same time, Mo pati Nepal Basa gulno talwe wordings really saying Jimpasa Tosco classmate. I think the whole Nepal should know him, not just the New York community. Pavitra Bir Singh Kangsakar, Pavitra Kasa, the great singer of New York Beatles. And we are saying, the Nepal Basa was saying Balaraa singer sama and an activist also. As you say, to Nepal Basa Shani Pathan say, I was so interested in Yableno, so interested. Jimpasa Pinso will be Kakunu Pinso Vipas. Todo Kire Namli Matra, Jati Matra Bono, Notro Purino. I mean, what are you saying? They were so proud. Prabhat, there you saw see some Kosuri Gorizar Basa, Isuri cities, Kanekura Tonai, Titike Yatso, Charporba Yatso, Tonai, Soprichi Yatso, Tonai. I once I was telling them about Dagi and Baumata in during यसो पनि हुन्छ र हामीले त सुनेको रथ तान्ने लाखे हो यो हो अब तिमीहरुले जाना फाइदा हुन्छ कमर्शियली जसले फाइदा उठाइरहेछ त्यो कुरा थाहा भयो अब यो दागी बहुमत कसैलाई फाइदाको विषय पनि थाहा भएन it's like that but again the community that I always belongs to wo community wo सभ्यता नि जे जिरो चाहिँ दिलसान यनी मुला जे दक्षिण छुटायो नि नेवारी चाहिँ जात जको मुखो नेवारी चाहिँ सभ्यता को it's a civilization that anybody who are born within this valley, they are Newas. They are Newas, not just by caste. Because Jiron Newa, Tana Dupi Tamang Tana Newa, Tan Dupi Gurung Tana Newa, Tan Dupi, even Marwari Tana Newa. Because this is one civilization I was brought into and I'm so proud. So that's how I
that is why tricky question so yeah. Manu tesa मानव जीवन मतलब मनु tesa ठाउँ इच्छा चाहिँ मारेना मुया जुगी मुजुले ठाउँ इच्छा मारेना दुनुगलो नि हो इच्छा मारेना चाहिँ मुया जुगी मुजु
एकदमै बोले चाहिँ जे माने ठाउँ इच्छा ख कि मुयाउरी होला obviously
ठाउँ इच्छा मारे मुजु मलाई ठाउँ इच्छा चाहिँ ठाउँ के थ्री छ दुवै चाहिँ या मा मलाई उडाइबडी भर्सन
एकदमै यामा बोले एकदमै
प्रभात रिमाली लाइफ प्रभात रिमाली लाइफ ठुलो लागु मतलब छाला छिनी प्रभात रिमाली त चाहिँ मियाले एकदमै इन्ट्रेस्ट जुमला तर ठुकुने वेको चाहिँ सिंगर ज्या प्या म छाख
ठुकी चाहिँ थेरिया try mugla achya I was part and parcel of Dewa Beatles होला
हजुर
यहाँ पिल छैन जिम में allowed
And Communicator also.
पवित्र ना प विनय ना प भूषण ना प allowed to and some of my great friends are like Sanjay Shrestha Haris Mathema Mula Itvi no
In Tuladhar.
Bigen ki there are I don't know click read ideas chunchis mula
हजुर
something that gets clicked and something don't. So I think the part of singing part of me didn't get clicked. So I don't know. AJG time ye fusa moksa say me alive Facebook get this.
Facebook is Shaka. Prabhat Rimal Facebook page Facebook follow ya we're gonna ile guitar thala चाहिँ na चाहिँ मिहाल चाहिँ वो interest हैन चाहिँ मारे वो नकुन दैन interest चाहिँ इच्छा नकुन tricky question दै चाहिँ इच्छा चाहिँ त्यही दुख चाहिँ पुरा या मार है तर दैन सिंगिङ इच्छा चाहिँ पुरा म
एकदम
वो क्यापेबिलिटी म जिम्मी हाली म फुर है वो ट्राई म न खो के ख
Moko. See, I'll tell you what. I really wanted to be a rock star rather than an RJ or DJ or whatever. I was born to be a rock star, but somehow Sula Sanjay Shrestha ji, we're like two fast friends. We started with Haris Mathema, three of us in New Road, Magla. But somehow, if you say Hitzula, Maya Miri Maya, it become a revolutionary song in Nepali pop phenomena. On our way, Haris Mathema is saying, Gulno Mena Dukha, Mula, Ahako Nani, to Kui Hitzula. Gina Snowman new band do, but you. Uki say Povitra Jiva, Mem some passes from do. Oblet Jim Son saying we did like, you can't imagine, like we did like 12-bar blues, we did rock and roll, we did everything together. It was pretty good. It was not there.
दाइ कान्तिपुर एफएमए चाहिँ स्टेशन म्यानेजर जुले दैन छौ सिके निबुसङ घटना हेर्दा वो घटना पछि थिएन सके बाँदरको हातमा नरिवल दाइ तर डाइना चाहिँ माकायो लाटे चाहिँ रेडियो इंगा टेंगु गयो निबुसङ इभेन्ट छौन जुला वो बाखस खन दिँदै
वो चाहिँ गेजुल दाइ जब ज्ञानेन्द्र चाहिँ अबले किङ ज्ञानेन्द्र चाहिँ खु याना चाहिँ he basically even looted my station हैन Bonnie police says and Ludera. And then I was like so surprised. I said, if you want to rule someone, this should not be the way. Mala to tarika say moko as will say radio to banda obla say army say the army say news center yeah. What a joke. Gone boge be army say obla news center तपाईको समाचारमा के छ पहिला मलाई सुनाउनुस् है and I took a yada mala then in protest to that against then King Gyanendra. So we were thinking of very creative किसिममा चाहिँ छौ किसिममा विरोधी आउँछ नि अब निचाका व मसाल जुलुस अयाउली मको so I
याना महिला छि संचार कमिटी छ उको ठाउँ सन्देश हिसाब बिल्कुल बोला
exactly समाजले जुन पासिङले छिरेर नि हामी चाहिँ अरु जस्तो यो भातृ संगठनहरु जस्तो मसाल जुलुस निकाल्ने यस्तो कामहरु चाहिँ नगरौं हामीले गरेको चीज चाहिँ रेडियो जस्तै कन्स्ट्रक्टिभ हुनुपर्छ या ढाल्यो चाहिँ and that was my idea so ale swamyu wana चाहिँ बाँदरको हातमा नरिवल दिया चाहिँ रेडियो ठिया चाहिँ मागैले बिहो गर्दै as a protest
that was a very became viral that when you चाहिँ मलाई एकदमै खुशी चाहिँ वो कभरेज नै आउट
I know that I should thank you everyone for that in fact
अले दाइ कान्तिपुर एफएम स्टेशन म्यानेजर जो माओवादीपट्टि बिबिके जो उले चाहिँ माओवादीको डर त्रासले सुना हैन गएको ठाउँ जान वो अनुभव कठिन
Ablela, there was a lot of threat. Jidona threat do abla. Where threat you karana yana say the first time to media say I took my daughter to India to study.
Wow.
Because jisai mogya say normally monta dale bormu sarmu dia dayala ya do no. I was not among those board members. I was never afraid of anything. I was a manager. A lot of threat was there, everything. But then I was like concerned about my daughter, Mula. Then, frankly speaking, I took a then Prince Sarda Sarkari when I asked her because she was not just my Sarkar for me, she was my friend's mother. जुम्पासै मा अब यहाँ सरकार यस्तो भयो छोरीलाई के गर्ने And then she suggested, Prabhat, this is Hami Podiko school. You know, then like Queen, Aishwarya, Sarda, and Shobha, they all three studied in Central in Darjeeling. And then they said it's like Central from Logger Raka, Timlai Sajili Puni Unsa, security Puni Unsa. So the threat was there, but I was never afraid. I never compromised just because it was Maoist. They compromised. They put a lot of pressure in terms of news. And there was this guy, like, I forgot his name, but I heard like later he died. Pressure, do, but I was never afraid. But there was a lot of pressure from Maoist then.
Dai was so the radio journey Kalamasa, Dayu Ile, Kantipur FM diner, Yakajono, Limushi Jazo do, one more day, Yo Jazo Gayam Dika, who is the Gayam Gayam hit Jula, where Tonyu Jazo at Jimbeton in Masaku Kennedy.
Jo Oble say, Jado and Yaku, Kotan say, Jisuria, Matea say, I was more of a commercial RJ. You know, Gungun Javola South is on any uncle, you know, because I was a sellable product. I was quite a sellable product. I become a Carlsberg club man. You know, I become a Marlboro man. I become somebody who did like, Kathmandu beat. And now we are saying Nepal Basi Jazo no Nepal energy Yana. So I was, commercial product. Julie saying I was used more in that particular term. So Jean the way Basai Isama saying Nepali, Angrezi, wo saying Nepal Basa saying Jazo Yaka Mugla. So I hardly remembered, but many programs I did it, out of which I would like to recall the Hits from History English, which was more for classic English songs. And of course, Nepali, Unforgettable, because I started that. I know that was my respect and tribute to a very civilized Niwas Sabhyata here in Kathmandu. We are saying Kathmandu Beat. I believe that program.
Dayu Red Nepal interview cam, lesbian work, gazette interview cam. Chinna they was one to Nugu Atina Consulum, like what on Gana wake up on your content, way the May Taguji, only open minded at open media do time no day, way later wake up into radio Hayate, wake up into call Locura. What a challenging job content.
It was challenging. So more than that was like we decided. My friend was hosting the show. Ale Red Nepali studio, Singadarwat Dune. Ale Sudala Rashi saying at Tola problem the gave lesbian to sort as saying yet not do saying. I took the command and I said it's like okay, Timerchinta Nagar, some is some more rock too. Or Roknes again when a Mike Kosti when a big lake Bimal, you go ahead with the program, yeah. So Red Nepal, you get a thing we are saying just in case anybody like comes in to interfere the program, because they would not allow us to talk on the issues like these days. So happy that we were the eye openers. We were the eye openers then. Jimson saying yes, sexuality. saying society open saying FM contributed a lot, not just Kantipur FM, but there are so many other FMs too. We contributed a lot because we started talking boldly on the issues. Lesbian dream, gay rights dream, even every taboo topics it Jimson address. So that's why it helped even society to open up. Society should not forget that.
The radio jockey Takuki, Daila on video jockey, video jockey Taku, radio jockey Taku.
Definitely relatively video jockeying, because video jockeys and there you are not just talking, you're expressing. Okay. You need expressions in your face, you need to act, you need to sit for editing, the most hated thing. Radio does not know what to want more.
You unbob class today. Wrong or right. Radio video jockey and radio jockey quite tackle. Radio jockey I want live announce how Hava Kana वो monitor listener itu वो अनेक दूर है जी कठिनाई feel वे की माउड मतलब visual साला तो visual के नाले वो मन अनेक दूर है feel वे तो radio jockey live and जो दूसरा radio गना live and जो खास साला radio jockey is hard नहीं मिलता है video jockey कठिनाई उपटी खला से वो
that I agree that I agree Zen, that I agree in terms of it's like watching a movie and reading a novel, right? Because still reading a novel is more sexier, more romantic. I agree. But at the same time, say effort-wise, physical effort-wise, say visually, that is important. But again, I totally agree with you. Sameste चाहिँ समुद्री कथा नेंगी माल लास्ट चाहिँ जी थेना नवाय माल लाके उल्टा जो सोच के जन ब्लैक हो म त समुद्रमा छु त यो टाइप चाहिँ feeling that was more difficult. Yes, in that particular term is more difficult.
Thank you for that. Like me too know that I चाहिँ video journey ला जो चाहिँ video journey सुरु पहिलो अनुभव चाहिँ गर्छु वो क्यामेरा पहिलो फेसन होले चाहिँ अनुभव गर्छु.
Wow, don't ask me. I was like a shy boy.
Radio jockey जो डाले you saw the mic like a snake मतलब हैन mic it is sharp ठेक खन video jockey क्यामेरा छुकन खन.
Yeah, that's like basically, I mean, somebody first who realized all my capacity, that was like more than anything else was the Nirsha. Nirsha, he took me to, to his channel, Sangila channel. And we are saying, he said like, Prabhat, timle about TV ma pani kaam garna सक्छ पर्छ. I said, हजुर मैले कसरी गर्ने तिमीले गर्न सक्छौ. I mean, that was quite a tough challenge. Then the Sangla channel started off. And I think I started off a little scary. So it was a taglet, but it was quite interesting because, every other thing that I was doing then was a challenge to me. Quite interesting. We did it successfully.
video jockey ले चाहिँ radio television journalist दाइने गएको ठाउँ चाहिँ ज्यादा चाहिँ presentation हेर्नु भाइ गएको ठाउँ चाहिँ program present चलायो
जी छौ चाहिँ पहिला Sangla channel ला भ I started Sangla channel ला भ चाहिँ a travel blog. Okay, but I don't want to claim but I think I did a travel blog. What travel blog was like where travel log blog day a log log I started with the Sangla channel. That was quite a hit. We are saying then I did a talk show on Nepal television called Face to Face. I would invite people from different walks of life, from politician to actors to everybody, musician, everything. From industrialists to Vinod Chaudhary and Rajesh Amal to Shervadu Deobai and everything. That was quite a hit. Nepal television as program saying face to face. That was quite interesting.
So was interview that differences for difficulty interview
interview cat Bigen, just imagine. Interview cat really effort how much of homework you did it?
I did it.
That was quite difficult. And all your homework ended up with with something which I already did it. I'm so comfortable answering you easily. But you did so much of work. So really homework hats off to you, man. So interview cat
Putra, so you interview cow journey, Gina, journey, interview BP, cooked interview or uncooked interview, what else? As a radio journalist, as a journalist, guest pinter, question provide you, culture, Bala Bamla, Tune, I not
so that's just how you were the question B Moru besides
question provided the guest requirement.
जी था पहिला म पहिला जी यहाँ पहिला म पहिला चाहिँ पहिला क्वेशन छ पहिला छोय दिशा I'll prepare that I understand because some people may not have that capacity to deliver or answer then and there I agree so I appreciate tara kuli nyepi mokka kuli spontaneously nyepi ni mokla like for example right now a छोय जिरो चाहिँ सुली न्यसा तल लागि that I was like really surprised you know I never thought of it like this school when you was a tape you come those were like totally surprised to me but quite interesting
Dai ale biasa kan dai to dai na चाहिँ प्रभात रिमाल अलि वो भाट ना बजे डायबिटीज एकदमै मया वो छ ना चाहिँ प्रभात मतलब जाने हल्की मया बा वो चाहिँ छ न
what say you know I mean I'm quite
भाट हेटर मतलब जनवरी पिन्डल भाटे डायबिटीज हुन्छ डाइ
जिला छुराहरु हेर्नुस् हामी नेपालीहरुको एउटा समस्या बहुत चाइनिजले चाउचाउ खाएर कहाँ पुग्यो पुग्यो इन्डियनले रोटी खाएर कहाँ पुग्यो पुग्यो भात खाने भाते नेपाली जस्तै जस्ताको तस्तै when I'm saying that you know then the reason I'm saying that in fact we are too much slave to bhat mathiko I'm a soft skill trainer also you know I mean I when I teach I tell people that like they are slave to bhat सुतेन भात हिनेन भात बिहान भात खायो बेलुका भुजा खायो दिउँसो फ्राइड राइस खायो 3 साग 4 साग भात खायो संसारको सबैभन्दा महँगो ग्रेन भात खाएर पनि नेपाली कहीं पनि पुगेन रोटी खाएको इन्डिया कहाँ पुग्यो चाउचाउ खाएको चाइना कहाँ पुग्यो you know in fact this is a health reason
अरे वो तर अलिक नेपाली टिभीको नेशनल खाना ढाए माछा दाल भात तरकारी मलाई नेपालको खाना लाग्छ वो डोइ चाहिँ वो कन्टेन्ट छैन ढाइ ठो खतै गुल्टको चाहिँ मान्छे ठिटो एप्रिसिएट याला ठो ढाइ चाहिँ इले ढाइले विभिन्न कठै मिडिया चाहिँ ठो वेचोङ डुडाइ ठिटो चाहिँ मान्छे गुल्टको चाहिँ पोजिटिभै कालो अथवा चाहिँ ठो प्रभात रिमाल गए मुन खर घटा ठिटो के खान्छ
I agree दाल भात तरकारी I mean दाल भात पावर 24 hour
हजुर खखाएको वे ख
तर जो भने चाहिँ छैन नि छिस न्याउन मात्रा काल्लासा वे छिस न बाला तर मात्रा अपोजिट लासा वे छिस बाले मक्ला फर एक्जाम्पल छिस चाहिँ ठो नेउ का माला जाएर है जायो माला चाहिँ जान्न या तर वे जानो अपोजिट ला छु चाहिँ फासिने चार्जै मक्ला ए जो भने चाहिँ सुरासनी चाहिँ even if it is a national food or even let's talk about international food if pizza is international food if Indian food is international food even if you have too much of any of those food it's still not good for you so you should have it in limit or we should have it in limit so bhatu khae चाहिँ जिरो भरिचा reservation धेरै भात खाने नेपालीहरु बिग्रिरहेको चाहिँ हिसाबमा I may go wrong but I don't know.
Dai radio jockey napna pa jajong theu ile chai Kandipur station thya apti station manager job takina na thong ja thumde na ji ja thong ni tata bai bereka sopin thau na rajnama bimo dai dai chuju dai Kandipur FM thya apti ayo platform pota chai choti ma अवस्था अनि पि म्यानेजमेन्ट ना पछि भी मजा ख के अथवा दाइना ना दाइना खना दौरान दाइ जुन दुसरा सदा चुनि मुख मिठा मिठा उन दाइ उठाइ चाहिँ वो रिजन ख
Okay, saying the point is it's a mix of everything. Chola, I felt that I've hit the saturation. I started as a RJ. I don't know, we have many RJ, too many program RJ, and then I shift in charge, and then I become an assistant manager, and I become a, and finally I become a manager. Stage-wise, no, I think, I was through. I've hit the roof. And I said, what next for me? Shall I erupt out of the roof? I didn't see a volcanic and then I thought it's like, one is that. Like you said, the other one is like, yes. You asked me, like, radio context saying, I'll south there saying, so feeling to the line, radio, जिरो तो प्रभात ना मुआला राम ना मुआला श्याम ना मुआला छिपी मुरसान जो उके सटा जे मेमी पी है जिम सुझाव किया जुइला तवाए का जुइला सुजिला साली जुइला यंगा ए ओयो किसिमले फिलिङ वल्ला थे जो मुला ए जुनी चाहिँ Then I thought, let's try
सुकरे ट्विस्ट जो गुजा हिडन पार्ट चाहिँ टु प्रभात रिमाल सोया चाय मजा जाउँ टु सुकरे म्यानेजमेन्ट नाप चाहिँ असन्तुष्टि या टोटो ढाहा जो मलाई सिधा सिम्पल
yes, yes, एकदमै असन्तुष्टि जियाया टोटो का. That is very true.
अले रेडियो ढुङ्गा दैन हान्छु रेडियो याना याना दैन इभेन्ट युटिन खजुला मलाई इभेन्ट उन एककै नि हो दैन नेपालले सुकमी भाजमेज भी थो स्वेचुना दिबे भाजमेज भी थो छु जानकारी भी राख्ने उइले प्रभात दैन गो इभेन्ट युटिन ज्या चला इभेन्ट म्यानेजमेन्ट या मलाई राइट नेपाली ठुए मठु बि मन्टन दु मलाई फर्स्ट टाइम दैन गन चाहिँ वो इभेन्ट यार का ढाइजौ इले चाहिँ दैन मन्टे चाहिँ गेना ठुक राइट इभेन्ट खयो खटो छुन ज्या जी इभेन्ट थोपि यान बि दे ओ थो फिम हेट ओटा मलाई जिठो थौ इभेन्ट जियान दि का ढायो दैन एना खला उ मन्टे ठीक ठाकुल जिन्दै हो.
Well, very valid question. J event company start no current saying जी नसो दिया कि जी saturation है चना जो management ना परसेंट disagreement डाल है जितना मती चाहिए जब लेने छो पता है छुटू डालने चाहिए जागिर तो ये चीज घूमने ना fix हुई मुको
युग शब्द छिट्याएको खस जा गीत मलाई
जागिर फर्मुला जे छ नि अछरा उना जी ओटवट माली खस जी अब टोट ढुंगा चाहिँ जी छु जी रिटायर जुला जी एक्स जुला. And I hated that word, X, retired. I said, like, I'm never going to be tired, and I'm not going to be like X. I'm going to be like Y all the time, you know. As when he said, I've started my company, Kanchipur FM, Suruju, with Bigen versus Lipana. I've started my company parallelly with my partner. I kept it alive, yes, about the event management company. Oh, Jirala Susurala, Kamula, and Jivana Montera, more even 23 versus 24 versus in you, honey. म इभेन्ट गर्छु इभेन्ट के हो इभेन्ट के गर्ने तपाईले म यसो यस्तो कार्यक्रम व्यवस्थापन गर्ने यसो यस्तो छ वान डोर सोलुसन हो तपाईहरुलाई सजिलो हुन्छ ए त्यस्तो पनि व्यापार हुन्छ आजकल हजुर हुन्छ सुरु गरेको छौ विश्वास गर्न बट आई एम ग्ल्याड यु नो हु ट्रस्टेड मी फर्स्ट who trusted me and gave me the biggest one of the biggest event of my lifetime then. It was Damanamatya San Miguel Music Award. That's what I did. I'm still grateful to Damandai. I don't know if he's watching me somewhere. Damandai, thank you so much for believing me and my team then. My company, Vogue and Event Management. Yula company name problem chuni. Vogue ria natia, Montesa Tue Moku, Suna Vogue Rala, Suna Churalo, and Vogue Boneko Kyo, Bogne Nabar Rake, Teo. समस्या जुल लागि I was way ahead of time.
Sometime वो भोग्न छ दैन वो इमेन याङा दिपा वो कान्टी प्रेम डाइरेक्ट स्टेशन मैनेजर वो अपुर याङ बिचार वो बिचे वो भोग्स का डाउन जी हाना कान्टी प्रेम उनो खमुना स्टेशन मैनेजर
no biche चाहिँ what I did was from shift in charge I resigned for 4 months. But I was still a RJ. It's not that I left and I came to Vogue. No, it was never there. But 4 months I left, and it's not that they called them. They called me back for station manager for sure. Yes, they did.
What term and condition? What direct term and condition? Give me term and condition is station manager.
That was due term and condition of let's say I was so young when I became a station manager. I think I was only 31 or 32 years old.
Okay. Are you Canterbury FM? Or Napa Prabhat Rimal station manager do the Canterbury FM say whenever comparison I am asking go time with the time then I chilladi get a good time you party over
Bigen, I think you should go and ask this question to the people on the street, not me. Not me.
As a radio journalist, as a well-known person, radio radio 2 years wrong. Why not?
It's going down.
Wow. I got my answer.
Not only going down, it's gone down. I don't know. Ugi chai jeet daya athwa Maria chai jeet hamoku. There could be so many other components, external components, but it's going down. Very sad to say that.
Okay. That skill trainer, motive training view, good hand, no way training view. Daila got house Tyson and Nera did the Nova Shinu Tyson, him the Shini the Như thế sao? Chúng tôi nói là sao cái này? Có thể khó nói vậy. Mà giờ này như thế khó xin đây là, chúc cao.
What heck? Actually, जब नेपालले चाहिँ संहिता वाला ठुटुकु वेयर हुँदा चाहिँ when first संविधान सभा start जोला, then जला व्यापारी न खा, so I proposed them along with my team. There was this friend of mine who was leading that project. He said, Prabhat, अब हामीले चाहिँ उहाँहरूलाई चाहिँ यस्तो खाली ट्रेनिङ दिनुपर्छ, कतिजनालाई काँटा चम्चा पनि चलाउन आउँदैन, बोल्न पनि आउँदैन, लुगा पनि लाउन आउँदैन, उहाँहरूले हाम्रो देशलाई गएर विदेशमा चाहिँ प्रतिनिधित्व गर्नुहुन्छ, त्यसैले उहाँहरूलाई चाहिँ सबै चिज सिकाउने एउटा प्रोजेक्ट बनाएर चाहिँ जाउँ त. I said, wow, what a great idea, man. Come on, let's do it. So we went for it, but unfortunately we were fired back with the हामीलाई सिकाउने, हामी नेताहरूलाई सिकाउने, जनताले भोट दिएको मान्छेलाई सिकाउने. I said, shit, man. Up your, and then we kept quiet.
But is it on topic? Nepal राजनीति ठोकुने जल्लो बल्लो यो चाहिँ खटाइ छ सञ्चारकर्मी हिसाबमा मन्दिर ठिकमा आउन MCC रे का चाहिँ ठिकै ठोकुने चाहिँ जल्लो बल्लो विवाद थियो अपनी खमच डाइरेक्ट छिटो उठा छ. What is the MCC? And छिटो.
Well, I don't know. I mean, for MCC is like MCC the clear पहिला जवाब चाहिँ सुना बिमल हस्तिन चाहिँ to MCC to विवाद तको गर्नु वल्ले मुला. अन्तको वबले चाहिँ पहिला उना चाहिँ साइन्यापी सुसुनहरु इमसँग जवाब बिमा कि MCC चाहिँ साइन्याहरुगा चाहिँ यामुकुरिया चाहिँ damaju one. And the next is, when your country is a dependent country, when your country becomes a dependent on other country for everything, so this is the result. Anyone can put a pressure on you at any given time. So like my only question is, if MCC is a help, and if I'm being helped, and if I say I don't need your help, why are you pressurizing me? Soyog, Jabardasti Juila. Can Soyog have a deadline?
Short and sweet answer. Short and sweet answer.
Yeah, I mean, people have to think in this line. And I'm so happy that recently, 3 days, 4 days back, गाँजा औषधि खेतीको लागि दिने सरकारको निर्णय गर्दै सरकार. I was so damn happy. I said, yes, let's do it. Let's legalize marijuana, because marijuana is like a petrol for Gulf country, diamond for African country. For Nepal, marijuana could be a national income. If somebody does that, I'll be the happiest Nepali. Forget just marijuana for smoking. Marijuana can be used for so many things. You know what I mean? Having said all this, dependent government of fun so I think that's a result of not just MCC, could be BRB of China, could be CRB of Japan, could be like DRB of India, anything.
नेपाली राजनीति डाइनासोर छ नापा नापा चाहिँ राजाबाडी राजा चलन चाहिँ देश टाइममा चाहिँ भटिच चाहिँ डिसिप्लिन छिसासु उले भी मजा मजाले चाहिँ 11 बजे टकन विशाल बजार चाइल्ड जो उले राजा शासन जो टाइममा ठौकुने प्रशासन होला बहुदल होला मतलब विभिन्न कठै चाहिँ गणतन्त्र सरकार होला संहिता होला ठौकुने झन्डे डट ट्रास अपोडु चुका नभए व्यवस्था ठीक खा के आइ व्यवस्था ठीक हो डाइसो सञ्चारकर्मी
हिसाबले at times there are so many people, they ask me, "Tapai ta rajavadi?" I said, "Hoina, ma deshvadi."
I'm going to also ask this question also.
Anyway, people they ask me, "Tapai rajavadi?" Ma rajavadi ma deshvadi. कसरी देशवादी मैले पनि जसले देशको लागि सोच्छ म त्यसको लागि काम गर्ने मान्छे र मैले चाहिँ के देखे भनेर भन्दाखेरि अब if you look at it आजको एनालाइज हैन मुगला after democracy 40 साल लिपा त देशै गुल्न क्रान्ति जुल गुल्न गेस so where are we now? We are nowhere. Like you said, where is the discipline? Neuro boni 10 टक्न पसचा 7 neuro सुनसान 1 minute. Security is not there. Raja wana muala chama raja wana twale piche raja gulli piche raja mala songkela yathana raja Sripan Jiga Yoni Muru, Tara Sripan Swiana, Sripata, 300 Raja to do. As well as I see, more than a person, more than an anarchy or monarchy, whatever it is, the important part is this. So now, this context is saying, are we like serious in terms of our country? Do patriotism go? Do this bhakti go? We don't talk about country first. We are talking about ourselves. Mo Newar, mo Baun, mo Chetri, mo Mogar, mo Mongol, mo yo. This China, because that's what I'm saying. But we are in the midst of two great nations who are so proud citizens, Indians. Mera Bharat man, I don't know Chinese today. I don't know the language, but at the same time, I have patriotic nation is bichai chompi munuta, bichai jai chi Nepali ta dumala. Nobody says I'm Nepali. Because if somebody asked me, I probably would say, oh, mo Baung, mo Chetri, mo Newar paila. But there should be a country first situation. So that's why I said I would not like to compare Napa Bangla ki A Bangla. But the thing is, what is good for us that we need to identify. We need to identify what is good for us. If I was like born in a Brahmin family, I got mixed up with Newar culture and everything. I would claim, I am more Newar than any Newar from out of the valley because I know so much about Newari culture. I have so much of respect for Newari language. I have so much of respect for Newari, civilization. So in that case, but at the same time, as a nation, I should not forget that I'm a Nepali too.
Yes.
That's what I feel.
Nepal was I know Mokne Basina Jewish. Nepal was Gultu Gualidlo, they only community pin up a behavior, new Nishekaya, a Kalan Nishekaya, Ronson Nisheka behavior today. Under Gultu Takula, Gultu Apula, Diety community, Diety, Brahman body of the community on a Lomungaton, Danua community, Asipen do on a people, new Nishekaya. Daito nyen jula majula daina momo mimo naiki mona dai bermuda san nemu dai ke.
Listen, very interesting question. I have a very beautiful answer for this. Jimba was a vegetarian Brahmin. Mangla. Goble elana motwa lana munampati Jimba ne don yamne chule shula. Wow. So mone chuyo we ya. Chotto chuyo we no. Yasin Jimba no jiro say oble. Nyargada biu ko momo ne ta. Oli wangle una kisna yu tar momo say. Kyo chau chamsa say ekate biu oli what momo ne. Bana bi tivani. Jimbormu bana. Guna say elana muton suna mura. When I become touched 18, that's when my father left. But when I touched 18, then my father said, "Bau, abu taile ta, tana alcohol khan man lagsa bhane pani taile khada kheri huncha. Tero ichha ko kura ho, man la kha, na man la dekhi na kha." That's what my father said. So I was born in such a civilized family. So easily I was always supported. Support saying no daughter. So I was never deprived.
You want to be submitted no you what is true right class संस्कृति हो कि खाना हो कि भाषा हो कि लेकिन यो चीज एट्रैक्टिव चीज है खैटल दाइना ढाड हुना नेवा त्यो क्लास सबै टाइप की खर ढाड हो ठुइले चाहिँ यो चाहिँ मटिना दु अथवा नेपाल भाषा प चाहिँ अथवा नेवा खेले दाइ यो एउटा चीज खाना नसा टोसा कला संस्कृति जात्रा पर्व दाइ छु हो
Jirala dokle yo to dokku yai pi niwa te yo.
Wow.
Kana degi pi niwa to sobete de nyerka ki pi niwa to sobete ta chui pi niwa to sobete ta hali pi niwa to. That's what I like that.
तर नापसुवा चाहिँ ठाउँने निवा त्यो क्लास संस्कृति सभ्यता नेपाल भाषा लोप ज्या जौ दुरका ढाउ दु मलाई ठाउँने गुलिटे एक्टिभिस्ट दु जो निवा त्यो टिमिटेटर र देशन राज्य संस्था न निवा त्यो गुली जमिन इन्कला गना छुइन्कला गना गेगे ठाइ विभिन्न कठाया डाइने इभेन्ट चाहिँ खटन जन चौ ए निनु डाइने गथे फिल गे ठाइ निवा चाहिँ डाउन जु ख अथवा डाइने ट्विट चाहिँ गुक्न छ कमजोरी ढामा
नेवा चाहिँ को मको मकला सुन डाउन जु अप जु त्यही चीज wake up new latte. If you are going down, you are going down. Regardless of you are Newar or Brahman, you are Marwadi, or you are, anybody. So actually, say to Jat athwa dharma athwa sanskar is going down. Again, you won't imagine that, like, Newari Sabyata, Newari civilization has gained such a height. Napa, Meila ne the same Mutwat, saying Shenki Burmut.
Chu Prabhat chu internet
Sostel Pemuna Zula Gola Newa Kana Guli hit Zula Mugla Newa Kana Guli hit Zula. Just imagine. Actually, this thing is growing. Identity of being Newari civilization, Newari culture, it is growing here. Now people are more known to Newari culture, Newari Sabyata, everything than before. Napa Montesno Boru Komshu, Honkne, people, they know a lot about Newari culture, Newari food, Newari civilization. Don't you think so? It's growing, it's not dying, it's not dying. Sorry, I disagree with the people who said that, oh, no. In my opinion, it's growing.
अवश्य न ठौँ प्रभात रिमाल सञ्चार कर्मी ताई निसे सञ्चार क्षेत्र ठाइट पानवेचना दिम व्यक्तित्वले निसे विभिन्न कथा एउटा नचना दिम व्यक्तित्व ठौँ WNO या सचिव गुइ खुङु ज्याजु सन्दु अथु वेकन प सिस जुमे ज्यान्जेरि छ सुको ठ न्यासटेको खसल हालोना ठगु न्यासटे दिटने जि इना पेनचना हालोना दिस ससि कथा छिकले इना बिगुजि छिकले ला मलोटले जि छु मेगु न्यासना जि वेक टेचना दाइ ठु दाइना चाहिँ विभिन्न कथा स्किल ट्रेनिङ बिले गएको कथा ट्रेनिङ चाहिँ बिया मलाई मोटिभेट ट्रेनिङ गराइ रेदा चाहिँ वो मोटिभेट ट्रेनिङ चाहिँ गएको कथा बिया गएको
त्यो चाहिँ बेसिकली गेट ने छिछा चाहिँ सोसाइटी झिके मोरलेस दको चीज दटा we got food, we got dresses, we got culture, everything, civilization, education dako data तर civic sense चाहिँ अझ challenge ल civilization यो को पार्ट चाहिँ अझ challenge ल त्यो को ठाउँ चाहिँ वो हिसाबमा चाहिँ more than a motivational speaker, I'm more of a soft skill trainer. How to speak, how to present yourself, how to get dressed, how to talk. मलाई जो चाहिँ focus on जुल चाहिँ एजुली चाहिँ my trainings are quite successful. The Yoku training Yanchanodu, Financial Institute of Nepal, and we are saying corporate houses Napi Yanchanodu. They are taking this and people are liking it. So I think that's quite a hit thing.
Student man sake चाहिँ वेकन छ भने सटल लालो नि स्टुडेन्ट दाइ डाइभ चाहिँ माइक अन म्युट हैन ठयो जसटे इना पेन्सन दाइ
जजलपा जी सके स्टुडेन्ट WNO नेपाल च्याप्टर या जी नायक जी चाहिँ थपार हूं इतिहास दुमो चाहिँ प्रभात जी त ठौ तिनी जी मसिके खना थो चाहिँ जु कमजोरी था मला प्रभात रिमाल जी ना लुमंके जिता शिक्का ठाको मगला जी छु ना लुमंके मुक्ता लुमंगा ता जी प्रभात रिमाल लगा छौ चाहिँ नेवात निम्ति गौरव जिल्ला जी प्रश्न सिबाना चाहिँ जी थो छु खते कि चाहिँ छुका राबले चाहिँ छि चाहिँ नेवात त चाहिँ थो छु जात मकु नेवात यो सभ्यता ख नेवात यो राष्ट्र ख गगु थैटिला ख दशक नुला ठिला छु जिसा चाहिँ आवया चाहिँ नेवात स चाक माउ चाहिँ छुका राबले चाहिँ नेवात चाहिँ आ चाहिँ छ जनजाति धाउ खल कि राष्ट्र धाउ ख जिता चाहिँ आ जिसा वो चाहिँ थो खुल्ला रूपमा चाहिँ जिता बस न उने माउ खलारी चाहिँ जिता नुगले चाहिँ हिट लगा छु ठो खैना अले आछि प्रदीप रिमाल ज्याना चाहिँ गु चाहिँ नेवा सभ्यता यो कगना तिलख जी सल्युट नाचना छ त एकदम सम्माननीय नाचना आदरणीय नाचना ल अले अनावया चाहिँ छुकाराबले चाहिँ आज जी चाहिँ छुकाराबले प्रेमबार कंसाकार जी दुर्गलाल दैपी नप मतुलन छ हुर्के ज्या विमपति जी मगला अले कन्या मन्दिर स्कुल जीव कै ना लोमन कन्या मन्दिर स्कुल या हेडमास्टर या निवा मुखका मगला वेकै नाति जिल्वो मन गला अटेन्टो आ चाहिँ चरास चाहिँ मोन हिमांशु थापा गुमा चाहिँ थापा जुयाना वेकला चाहिँ नेपाल भाषा या टिचिङ याना चाहिँ वेकना जीवन बिताएला अनि पनि गौरवशाली त दु अठेन्टो आ हेर्दै प्रसाद मिश्र ढाला ठना येले चाहिँ छि चाहिँ छु चाहिँ येले चाहिँ छि मिश्र छमन्तुनी छि चाहिँ छु जो केनिमपट्टि हेर्दै मिश्र जी वेकै नालो लोमना जिता
रिडे
Apa jalan dua sama, awak mara donggal ka, kala, awak mara donggal. Awak kan sampai barana cuma, tera awak kan jo ke impati maksa gaji kuliah maksa dekat awak sepu cowok awak lah. Aten tu Amar Raja pada jela button Sharma jela makla. Aten tu Prakash Darto Krishna Mandiri ya, Pujari jatuh Prakash awak kan manta, awak kan jipasa kala. Autan sangat berat hati, aji cuy yana cok konsulat nara, jauh janmat Trisili juga tu ni, GDP jitna jela khasan jauh janmat Trisili juga, Trisili bazar musma ta yukku dukana, ala newa ta yuk pucde musma ta dukana, weka pinna newa pahaj inta uliye ceng mayawan, uliye bal ka newa bakhalasa, ala khurshid alam di macamana musma tu, wo musma na ceng Bihar budak army me ali wakna, ana Mahapratan jubla jim me cuy ceng biara waya चाहिँ वेकला चाहिँ चुका ढाबले बुढो धर्मी यो मे चाहिँ वेकला चाहिँ छरासा नेवा भाषा चाहिँ हा बोला मगला खुर्सेर आलम ढका उक्टा चाहिँ दु छिके कला अथवा चाहिँ एकदम गौरव खख उकीटा गु छिसा चाहिँ नोग चकंका उ खतै दिलख अथैउली चाहिँ छि नेवा जकमको नेवा राष्ट्र नेपाल राष्ट्र ठकाटा चाहिँ ग्वाल गीत गाडी मनतना छ न उले जे एजा थौ प्रति प्रमाल त मसिके खौ चाहिँ जो निम्ति गौरव खंजले को सुबह
को सुबह दु साकी सुरेंद्र र प्रभात वे कता छुए डायबिटी खंगोट छुए शब्द दु
सुरेंद्र तै को थाले यो को पास वे को यो को जो पाखेन सुबह छुए चाहिँ जिनि चाहिँ वे को चाहिँ छु इना प्यार यार चाहिँ वे गर्न दैदिल त्रिले चोम मुस्मा अन वे चाहिँ थन्चोम थापा अथवा चाहिँ मिश्र दियो मदिसे थुइसामा मगला Jewish society, actual society where and that society was evolved just on Bistari. And that
modern Mr.
was society saying Jewish society, actual normal prakritic society and a evolved just on society chita. All of a sudden political change we are saying drastically यो politics मिडा बिल की अनुया चाहिँ छिटो छुट्यान बिलिया छ मर्सिया छ पहाडिया छ बर्मु छ जनजाति छ नेवा छ क्षेत्री छ बर्मुरिया I said come on I mean you know वेकना धारे जियो सोसाइटी ला वखनी नै छ खुर्सिद अहमद जुइमा थापा जुइमा मिश्र जुइमा जिया पासपी का जी थट मन्टु रे जी चाहिँ बुद्धिस्ट स्कुले बोम चाहिँ छम गैर बुद्धिस्ट विद्यार्थी मगला जिम्बाना चाहिँ भन्डेट चाहिँ वयामा ढैको ठाउँ चाहिँ वनिमा आउ चाहिँ छौ सोसाइटी जुम पनि भन्यो ए जुनी जो यो बाला सोसाइटी त पोलिटिकल लिडर वया चाहिँ झिट भड्के या साथ कि चाहिँ झिट थयो छौ जात मेउ जाति त भो बिउ वया किसिमको सिभिलाइजेसन चाहिँ I think I don't think so. That is our civilization. So we need to be careful. Jula sida kon where.
अब सेना थना जुमे जंजे जी में पिना सुको ठाया नि स दुगु फसल हाल न जे इना पेन सुना छ तर चाहिँ जिजाजो लिपांगु चरण ने छन मुडु ए छु दाइ ना पचाइ द मेउन छोजिन मासे छ हिन्दैन स्किल डेभलपमेन्ट हरे थागु पर्सनालिटी डेभलप या नीति चाहिँ सुको ठाया डाइना चाहिँ विभिन्न कठाया ठासे हुना चाहिँ जो ट्रेनिङ बियो अथवा थाउ स्पीच बियो बेजौ ठोइले चाहिँ ठौ ज्याजो ट्रेचना दिपि यनामी भाजुमी जुपि सुकुमी भाजुमी जुपिन त चाहिँ तो किन बच हाक्ला हैन 5 मिनेट हुँदैन चाहिँ सो लाइफ अथवा थाउ जीवन चाहिँ बालक र स्किलफुल लाइफ हने कि तदैन चुको चाहिँ स्पीच देना 5 मिनेट नन स्टप स्पीच बिमा चाहिँ गुगु ठम भेदी थो दौरान सुनाउन लाल्नु दिसन हुन नि सच्ची के बुझे so थाउ लाइफ बालक त निति दैन छु मोटिभेट सो स्पीच दैन ठौ पाखे नि
उकि चाहिँ भिजन जे उकि चाहिँ छुड्याएर चाहिँ छौ चाहिँ फर्स्ट is we got to think right. Second is we got to eat right. Third is we need to sleep right. Fourth is we need to balance our stress right. And the fifth is we need to be positive for life. पाँचवटा मन्त्र जो उल्लेखका
ठुलै पाँचवटा चाहिँ यदि ठगु जीवने चाहिँ ले नहुने ख चाहिँ लाइफ चाहिँ बाना नहुने मलाई
yes exactly life is pretty complicated मजुरिया जीवन चाहिँ यो complication मरुरिया. It's just that we make it so complicated. Eat right, sleep right, exercise right, we are saying think right, and then be positive. Okay. So 5-star lines would make you great.
You could survive this Sunday. Tagu mu in the bedla. Let Tagu no condimla, Tagu journey by the condila. Tom, Prabhat Rimal, Dina Pose, some Bunija, Jin Lo Mungu. To Dovu Marford, Dita Konemondu, Chikon, Lipang will do credit.
Present, thank you so much. A lot of platforms to Ninti, especially when this has been conducted from from abroad. You say Toy request century, Jisan Toksha saying Toy to Lumungu Nap Napon, Toy civilization you bare Kolam Nap Napon, Toy. संस्कार भाषा यो खलाई नाप्न पाउँछ देशैले चाहिँ लोमङ्की मजिला. I feel seriously that while talking about me and myself, we've become too I, me, mine. In my opinion, we should be we, us, together, and them. So let's not forget that we have a country called Nepal. Civilization. So we tend to forget patriotism is getting less. Patriotism in Nepal nil. So just imagine tomorrow you as Newar and me as Brahmin or somebody as Kshatriya, somebody as Gurung without a country. This binako paichan is going to be very difficult. That's what I tell people आफ्नो पहिचानको कुरा गर्दाखेरि देशको पहिचान नबिर्सु that's what I wanted to call.
यो ढौरान चाहिँ जिना जो इना थो अनिता प्रधान छका लाल नदी गुदु वेकना न ठको नेसा ठौ फाजु टै इना पेतना अनिता जी
जोजोलपा प्रभात जु जिसे हामी युएस बाके मलाई छिलिसे चाहिँ इभेन्ट म्यानेजमेन्ट या क्रमै चाहिँ जिन्स खज्याइन दु एक्सपीरियन्स जोजोल नेपाले जुले I am assuming you are brutally honest answering all the questions to platform management radio station management event management to leading leaders wake up in the same Gucci speech training so that wo gaina se present ya wo personality management te la skela wo sungu management mukla to right question khala mukla moshu so what made you most satisfied out of all of these or actually, if you have to choose
See, if I have to choose, it's it's difficult. It's like you're asking me to who do I love the most among my children? It's quite a difficult question. I understand that. But at the same time, in present context, I probably would like to educate our politicians because there's somebody who represent the country in international platforms. And, I would like to see them being respected from the international community and leaders, which is not there. I feel so sorry for them. If I compare brutally, like you said, I've been answering, just go back to the YouTube and see the videos of then King and their visits to the international, countries, yes, the amount of respect they received, and the today's leader, the biggest leader, even if they go to New York for treatment, not even the mayor of New York would bother to come and say hello to them. So this is how we are losing our respect, because that seriously lack. That's how I stand or how they stand as a personality. So in that particular manner, I would really love to teach our politicians the personality development, public speaking, and everything. I think I'm being brutal enough, ma'am. Thank you.
Chi to होता छुं चुला मर्नी आतको खाली corporate package like why don't you do that then?
No. I approached. I don't know. I told Bigen also, we tried to put a proposal. We got the fire back. That
I mean, Samsat like
I'm like, oh, yes, the project. And we were rejected on that ground. Sorry. What can we do about it?
But you should not, like this easily give up then. No, if you are like into your, like your mission.
I tried several times, and so many occasions we tried later also again and again, but then again we got the same answer repeatedly again and again. So what happens is, like, if I bang my head against the wall is not going to break. I'm going to break my head someday. So I kept numb.
Yes.
Okay. Swear.
You could swear this on how more you nipus so Sian Chong Jack Inadilla, you could swear to Chite. Listen, to Sukumi Pazimes with the Kosuba, who go Prabhat Rimal Napati Sakabal Daga, Vega Napaju Kambala Gatala, comment box at how comment editor in IPSA, to go Jazo at the focus there and this attack in Yapusum Kanabala, Prabhat the Kanabala Fushi, has it taken in IPSA, Toy Jazz Bigen to Tuladhar by Nibuza for Nathanozula, and a cane, Megu Jazana, Megu Prostata Chicken, WNOya to platform packing with you. But I'm saying, I to bass, Subha, Jema.